春节过得怎么样？听说武汉那边好像有传染病，要注意啊。
嗨呀，我们这边没事的，你不要乌鸦嘴啊，我们这边离武汉很远的。
喂，你们现在怎么样了？这疫情怎么控制不住啊？我们这都要封城了。
哎呀，我们这边也是的呀，没想到这次传染病这么厉害，哎呀，我太慌了。
The COVID-19 broke out. Residents across China started their quarantine period then. People were encouraged to stay at home and instructed to wear masks when they go out. I'm just a normal international student who returned home for the holidays to be reunited with my family. The virus shattered many of my hopes and plans for the next semester. This is my story, and my story started from here. On February the 1st, the Australian government issued a travel ban to China. Then, my flight back to Australia was cancelled many times, and I was in a crash. The soaring expenses and unknown circumstances that may occur upset me. Can I finish my study this semester? Can I afford the rent? How and when can I go back to Australia? All the unknowns nearly suffocated me. In the following days, I tended to escape from reality. I ate much. I drank much, pretending nothing had happened, and wishing that the trouble would silently disappear one day. But the life didn't give me any chance. Problems should still be tackled by myself, sooner or later. Week after week, the travel ban was extended again and again. Just then, it's reported that students could enter Australia by going to a third country for a 14 days quarantine. Thank God, hope still exists. The news gave me the courage and confidence to face the problem again. To get tips, I called my friend who had just stayed in Thailand for 14 days and successfully ventured back to Australia. We shared our situations and some information about the travel ban. She comforted me that there were few cases both in Thailand and Australia now. The air tickets to Thailand were relatively cheap and the visa was easy to apply. If you're eager to go back, just come, she said. I was almost persuaded. Dad and Mom tried to let me think it over, considering the possible health risks during the trip. But I insisted on my decision. After weighing things up, I started to pack my luggage and got everything ready for the journey. At that time, I felt like I'm a gambler. I left home in the early morning. I arrived in the third country at dusk. The country was bustling with joy and laughter, as if it had not yet been shrouded by the crisis of coronavirus. Surrounded in such atmosphere, my nerves could not help but relax. New semester began. The life in this country was hopeful and tranquil. Online lessons, reading, and playing video games dominated my time. Occasionally when I look at the sky, I felt that these days were unreal. Is it just a nice dream? I ask myself. Meanwhile, the days were a little bit lonely. Self-quarantine made me miss my parents and my friends, especially when I saw people walking together to the beach. In my mind, I rushed to the beach as well, freeing myself. The day of my arrival in Australia finally came, and I woke up from the dream to face a new reality. As the COVID-19 spread globally, it grew into an ongoing pandemic. The epidemic became fierce worldwide, in contrast to China's steadily stable situation. Under such circumstances, the anti-China sentiment was ignited and spread. My friend even told me that if I speak Chinese in the public area, someone may immediately keep away from me. Half of March passed, and my life in this country was covered by heavy clouds. Panic buying was like a tornado that swept through major markets. The shelves of toilet papers and other necessities like rice and noodles quickly turned empty. I had no choice but swim with the tide to meet my basic daily needs. My parents made phone calls to me and told me to be careful and stay safe. They tried to send me respirators, disposable gloves, and other protective materials from China. The warmth from parental care dispelled the dark clouds in my heart, little by little. This period of isolation gave people around the world a starting point for in-depth thinking, to escape or to confront. The answer varied from people to people. For me, I began to examine myself, thinking about hope behind fear and opportunities in crisis. I realized that life will reward you for the way you approach it.